You are listening to Basement Chronicles with Lisa Dublin, episode number 46. Hey, you made it! Welcome to my basement. I'm Lisa Dublin, a health and life coach, and I help professional and executive women to live, lead, and speak with confidence. Because you know what? Developing your confidence and deepening your faith in God is the best formula for an amazing life. So, are you ready? Let's go. This episode is called The Woman Who Showed Me Kindness. And I want to talk about a kindness experience that I had that someone showed to me a couple months ago and lead it into a general discussion about friendship and expectations, that kind of thing. So wherever you're listening to me from, welcome to another episode of Basement Chronicles. This woman who I'm talking about, you guys, she just didn't embarrass me when she had the opportunity to, and I'm so deeply appreciative of that. Let me set it up for you. I held a workshop some time ago, and whilst the people who came actually got deep transformation that has extended and been sustained even up to today, they're doing great things with the knowledge that I imparted to them. There were not many people who attended that workshop. That's the honest truth. One of the participants who came got a transformation, and later on, she had an occasion to speak about that workshop. Nobody asked her to, but she really wanted, to give me my flowers. And she was so gracious. She spoke about how much transformation she and the other participants experienced. And this lady never mentioned the fact that the room was not filled or even half filled. And I sat there floored as she just focused on the results of the workshop and not on the fact that, not many people attended. This was in light of the fact that, I'm always experiencing those moments where people just try to get an upper hand, try to put me in my place, try to say it as they think it should be said to make me look less, all sorts of stupidness that goes on sometimes with me. And to see this woman just be so kind, it really floored me. I think a part of me perhaps has grown accustomed to people just being people, not being as kind as they're supposed to. I kind of chalked it up to, this is how you are to be a friend, and I put her in that category as well. The thing is, I'm exploring friendship in earnest these days, folks, and it's partly because I'm curious about what it takes to be a good friend, and, there's a part of me that also wants to be a better friend. I do have a couple good friends, I must say. These are people that I can spend more than an hour on the phone with just chopping it up. But even then, I find sometimes I have problems with how genuine people are around me. Thinking about this podcast, I thought I would explore some of those situations that I have been mulling over in my head. And to be fair, I'm not just going to point to things that have been done to me, but, times when perhaps I have shown up not being the best friend that society thinks I should be. Okay, I'll leave it up to you to decide, who's wrong or right or that kind of thing, because really where friendship is concerned, I don't think I'm as mature or as knowledgeable as I am in other areas of my life. So here's the first example. I was on the phone with this friend of mine. I can spend hours on the phone with her. And usually it's because I just let her talk about herself. Yeah, that's it. She loves to talk about herself. She considers me her coach. And, I don't mind to a certain extent. But, just because I have been lately exploring a lot about what it means to have meaningful friendships, I realized part of doing that and having that mindset is you need to now not just brushing things aside, but if you want to have a more meaningful friendship, you absolutely have a responsibility to interrogate and deal with things in friendships when they come up in an effort to make that relationship better. So one day we were just talking. It probably was a Sunday morning, as it's wont for us to do. And, she was going on about stuff that she was going through, and I was kind of working with her through it. So I decided, okay, if this is my friend, it's supposed to be a reciprocal relationship. I'm supposed to talk, and and say what's on my mind, as well as you say what's on your mind, which you have been doing for the last half hour or so. And so when, she had finished talking about her issue, I think I went into coach mode and kind of helped her there. Then I began to tell her something that I was going through. Would you know what this woman did? I kid you not, like she just changed the topic. She went back to speaking about herself. The old me would have instantly shut down even though I stayed in the conversation. You would never get me to open up to you again. But I said to myself, since I'm on this journey, maybe what I should do is to bring it up. So I did say to her, did you just cut me off and just turn the conversation back to you? I mean, to say this sounds so petty. Like, why would you? It sounds even tragic to me. Why would you need to be saying stuff like that in a friendship? Why would that need to be a problem? And when I said that to her, she said something about being tired or whatever, and she just continued talking about herself. But it showed me exactly, I think, exactly what she thought about our so-called friendship. And I just allowed her to continue until, we said goodbye. But it taught me what category to put her in that day. So there's this other friend of mine, okay? Like, don't think I'm just railing on my friends. You'll hear my part about it, and it might be worse than all three things put together. So I have this other friend who just can't handle any success that I have. If I bring something up that I've done that I'm particularly proud of, she finds a way to bring in something that she too has done. I don't usually keep those kinds of people around me. So this is not like a bosom buddy. It's somebody, I like, and, we have great conversations, but I understand who this person is because they always say if a friend cannot handle your success, that person is not really your friend. I've heard it, I've experienced it, and I know exactly where to put those kinds of people. But, I have my own pet peeves as well, things that I do that perhaps my friends think make me not qualify as a good friend. So as you guys know, I have 3 boys. I'm a parent. I'm a mother. I am mostly a mom all the time. I'm always parenting, even though I don't bring it to the podcast or you don't see it on social media. But I am that mom who is homeschooling 2 of her 3 children. I love my children. I see about their homeschooling. I care about their careers, their futures, their lives. I pray a lot for them, We sacrifice for them. We feed them. I do the cooking, all the things. And so when I go live and I speak about personal development stuff, you guys, it's usually an escape for me because I'm in the thick of parenting. And parenting is very hard. I mean, it is very rewarding as well. But let's face it, I have 2 of my children who are in the teenage years. And in this period of life, kids are about rebellion, talking back, leaving mugs in the living room, socks behind the sofa. I have kids with smelly rooms and dinner plates under their beds that they themselves put on gloves to get rid of. Yes, all the things, even though I think I'm not a half bad mom. But I do love my children. I love my boys. I think they're good kids. I'm proud of them. They're tall, handsome, beautiful children. And they accepted Christ as an early age, which for me is one of the highlights of their lives. I'm really proud of them. But I don't bring them into like the public part of me, partly because my mom said not to do it, and partly because I understand that if I take that pressure off of them and don't insert them so early, they get the chance to just live their own lives. And some of my children don't like social media. They don't like to be disturbed. They don't like the public eye. That's just, I guess, how they're made up. Some of them at least. But basically, I don't like to burden people regaling them of stories about my children. I find it boring and sometimes frustrating when my friends do it. I want to talk about us as adults. I don't want to be reminded about parenting and all of the parenting things because I myself am in the thick of it. So I tend to look at when I have conversations with my friends as an escape from the parenting life. So then why are you going to bring your kids into our conversation? Am I being unreasonable, people? In fact, I'm not even sure why I'm asking that question because I don't know any explanation that's going to change my mind, you know? If you condemn me for that, that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. But here's the thing. When my children were little, I don't remember like bringing them into any conversations with anybody else. None of my friends cared anyway. A lot of them at that time when I was having children, they themselves were off studying or doing other things in the world. So there wasn't anything set up for me to be talking to them anyway about my children. So I really, really didn't. Now they're having children, and now all of a sudden I'm supposed to be anti this. It doesn't, like, why? Oh my goodness. So I keep my family stuff to myself by choice, and I figure I don't have to entertain other people wanting to do differently. I'm that person who doesn't care, for example, bringing the kids on a coaching call. Like, why? This is about you. My children were trained, and I don't mean that I have perfect kids because I really don't, okay? Like, we're in the thick of parenting right now. But where social media was concerned, and knowing that I was about this public life, my children have been trained, if I'm on a call, not to come, not to make yourself present. So sometimes if I'm coaching somebody and their children come on the call, I don't say anything, but I don't know that I particularly like it. Now, what I do accept, it is the parents' right if they decide that they want their children all around them all the time. That's your right. What I don't think I have a responsibility to do is to respond to your children being on any call. That's for you and them to work out, okay? So I will be hi, hello, and I'll wait for you to figure out how you and I are going to continue the call because I came for a professional call. Do you guys find that especially, I don't know, is that mean? For me, it's just professional, and I came for one thing. Let's get you right so that you can go off and be all of yourself with your family. But I guess some people don't see it like that. I just don't see the need to respond to chit chat and, to kind of waste time, just being nice with your kid when we have work that you and I have to do. So I guess this is not the very nice side of me, guys. Can anyone identify? Anyway, at the end of that conversation that has started with kindness and kind of devolved into my pet peeves, when I really think about things, one thing stands out for me. If you love somebody, you love their children. My mother always says that. And I feel that way, even about my friends. And I know I kind of railed against bringing children on the calls and that kind of thing. But I like those kids because they belong to my friends. They're my friends' kids. So maybe the thing is to just say hi and just quickly move on and not to, now that I think about it, not to be so upset or so irritated because the kids are small. Because number one is you just never know where the children are going to end up. You never will tell which kid is going to open a door for your kid or, they might even end up together, my goodness. Oh my gosh, like all of the things, right? So I feel like what my resolution is now that I am thinking it out as I speak on this podcast is to have a heart for your friends. I know for sure, like, because I love my friends, I know that I do love their kids. I just don't have a penchant for just being around little people all the time. So that is what is coming up. But it's not like a hatred for children. Absolutely not. I think for me, beyond whether I like or don't like kids is, do I like or not like their parents? And the answer is a resounding yes if somebody's in my circle. So that kind of will dictate just how tolerant I am going forward. But the thing is, you can't really change who you are, can you? I am just that person who's very straight-laced, very professional. I like to keep things separate, family separate from my work, that kind of thing. And I think I've grown to unfairly expect it of others, and maybe I shouldn't. So this is me coaching myself on my own podcast. Oh my God. So what are your thoughts about friendship? Do you have good friends? For me, I just want to be kind to people and have them be kind to me. And I think we should look at people just as human beings, not as what they've done, what they've achieved. Let's just simply approach another person as another human being. How are you? What do you think about that? How did that affect you? And perhaps in having that kind of approach to human beings, we will have friends across the board. We will have the very outstanding celebrity ones, as well as the everyday people, who serve us as well. And there will be no loss of enthusiasm and no loss of dignity and respect in how we treat people. One of my clients always begins the call with, so how are you? And once or twice I've had to catch myself almost tearing up when a client asked that of me, because number one, the client has paid me to ask that question of them. And so I'm always on that giving side of, asking people, how are you? What do you think about that? Etc., etc. So when somebody deigns to ask me, how are you doing? And they genuinely ask it, many times it catches me by surprise. Apart from my family, my husband's very kind. I so love that about him. I think apart from my immediate family, my husband, my children, my mom and brothers and sister, and, just that little clutch of us, I feel like the world outside of that is pretty mean. And you kind of need a buffer for you to kind of counter it in your own life. I hope you find that buffer. If it's in friends you find it, I hope you do appreciate it and give it back. I think the big flex is even when it's not given to you, for you to give to other people the love that Christ has given you. That I think is the big flex, and that's when you see the biggest returns. So thank you for listening to this talk on friendship today. I hope this is food for thought, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye. Thank you so much for listening today. Now, I know that you prioritize your growth and success. So if you feel stuck in any area of your life, why don't you consider life coaching? My signature program, How to Get Unstuck Total Transformation, has helped so many professional and executive women to free themselves of limiting beliefs and habits, learn to love and prioritize themselves, set firm boundaries and stick to them, be more confident, move up exponentially in their careers, and become the best versions of themselves. How badly do you want to get unstuck? How badly do you want to be the best version of you? If you desire more, take the first step right now. Go to my website, lisamdublin.com/coaching, and book a consultation with me. Let's talk about your coaching needs, because the life you want is totally possible.